tragedy in Madison County.
Looking up in the air, saw the helicopter go over our head and bam!
A Black Hawk helicopter crashing to the ground, killing all on board.
It's like there's no way I would think anybody got out of that.
Smoke from the wreckage seen for miles. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Schaefer.
And I'm Nicole Williams. We're staying on top of this developing breaking news story for you tonight. Right now, crews are still at the scene of the crash on Highway 53 in Harvest. We now know 2 people were on board when it came down. Both were killed.
Here is what else we have learned. We know the helicopter was from the Tennessee National Guard. It was on a training flight when it crashed. Federal and state authorities are now investigating what led up to that tragedy. The condolences flooding in tonight. Brigadier General Warner Ross, Tennessee's adjunct general, saying, quote, "We are deeply saddened by the loss of 2 Tennessee National Guardsmen, and our prayers are with their families during this heartbreaking tragedy."
Governor Kay Ivey sending a message to Tennessee Governor Bill Lee on Twitter saying, quote, "Alabamians will continue to uplift in prayer the families affected by this heartbreaking tragedy. The Guardsmen who lost their lives today will be remembered as heroes. The people of Alabama stand with our neighbors in Tennessee." We have team coverage for you tonight. 831's Xavier Wary talked to witnesses of the deadly crash.
Xavier, just a horrible thing to see. What did they tell you?
Nicole and Dan, I spoke with 2 gentlemen who work at a nearby business here on Highway 53. They tell me it started when they heard a loud noise coming from above the roof. That's when they looked out the window and they saw a cloud of black smoke and a bunch of fire.
Got my keys and drove down there, and you just see like this debris everywhere on the ground, people everywhere, like smoke, the flames, like mud everywhere. It's kind of like a very surreal scene, like out of a movie kind of.
You just saw this helicopter fall straight out of the sky, and it was just like, how is this real, And I mean, it was just, I've never seen anything like it.
Ferguson and Smith continued stating that it truly was a surreal scene, something that, of course, they have never, ever seen before. They also mentioned that they were just in complete and utter shock over what they saw. They also wanted to wish the families of the victims well during this time. But of course, we will continue to stay on top of this developing story. I'm reporting live in Harvest, Xavier Wary with 31 News.
All right, thanks very much, Xavier. We do have a traffic alert for you. Because of that crash, there is damage to the roadway here at Highway 53. Right now, it is closed, and it will be closed all night and for much of the day tomorrow. 53 closed really from Jeff Road. This is Jeff Road, this north-south road here. Jeff Road all the way down to near Douglas. Now, tomorrow, the Madison County Sheriff's Office says they are going to start closing the road way down here to the south at 255 Research Park Boulevard. So this entire stretch of Highway 53 will be closed. You'll need to find an alternate route. If you're traveling to the east, this is the Huntsville side. You can use Pulaski Pike as an alternate route, or 231, 431 a little further to the east. If you're on the west side of town, Madison, this is Wall Triana Highway. You can use that, or you can also use Old Railroad Bed Road to get around this. But again, this road, this is 53. This will be closed for much of the day tomorrow while they make repairs on the roadway and also for part of their investigation. So avoid this area if you can. Otherwise, pack some patience for the ride around there tomorrow. Nicole?
The UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter is one of the most notable pieces of technology in the Army's arsenal. We dug deeper to learn what makes it one of the Army's primary aircrafts. A 4-blade, twin-engine, medium-lift utility military helicopter. That's the technical way to describe the Black Hawk that crashed in Madison County Wednesday. Sikorsky Aircraft submitted the design for a competition in 1972. The Army designated the prototype YUH-60A and selected the Black Hawk as the winner of the program 4 years later in 1976. The helicopter entered service with the Army in 1979. Unlike Wednesday, when 2 people were on board, the usual crew for a Black Hawk consists of 3 people: the pilot, co-pilot, and a crew chief. When used in war, it can carry an additional 11 troops with equipment and thousands of pounds of cargo. There are several different designs of the UH-60, including a VIP version, the VH-60N, used to transport important government officials like Marine One. Depending on the specifics of the model, the Black Hawk helicopter can cost between nearly $6 million and $10 million. Here's another look at the moments before the helicopter hit the ground. The terrifying scene still hard to watch tonight. Our team coverage continues with WAVE 31's Alex Perez.
She spoke to people who also, unfortunately, witnessed this horrible crash.
I just hollered, my Lord, my God, because nobody could have survived that.
Tammy Adams was driving along Highway 23 when she saw the unbelievable.
We heard this very loud, it's like a car without a muffler. But we knew it was in the sky. Looking up in the air, saw the helicopter go over our head and bam, we heard it hit. We saw it hit the ground and it exploded.
That loud boom was heard at home by Shermonica Johnson, who immediately thought of her kids who hadn't gotten home from school.
I was panicking because I thought it was the school bus.
Johnson went out to see what was going on, and when the black smoke finally cleared, she saw the helicopter.
You can't even tell it's an aircraft. You couldn't even see anything really left of it but debris. There was nothing left at all.
The sight prompting many to take a moment to pray.
I was like, Lord, if there's any will anywhere for these people to make it out, whoever was in this aircraft, please let them out.
People in the area say they'll keep the victims' families, aviation family, and soldiers in their prayers as investigators try to figure out what happened.
Alabama lawmakers also keeping those involved in their prayers. Congressman Dale Strong released a statement saying, quote, "My heart hurts for those whose lives were lost in this tragic incident and for their families as they learn of this news." So what's next? The Madison County coroner says a full autopsy and ID of the victims will be done through the Armed Forces Medical Examiner at a later date.
This isn't the first Black Hawk helicopter to crash in North Alabama. Captain Scott Shemp, Chief Warrant Officer David Stanley, and Sergeant Jeffrey Angel II died when the chopper they were in hit power lines and crashed. It happened in Skyline in September of 2007. The Army said the helicopter was flying from Fort Campbell to Chattanooga Municipal Airport on a training mission.